Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the usual disclaimers, first off, I would like to in advance apologize for my appearance. But in my defense, I literally just got off of work. And my God, the stupid was strong today. So bear with me, all right? Okay, so where we left off, we're moving on to comment 10, but let's get to the disclaimers, all right? If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, please take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit. They did not remove it from the website. Therefore, folks, you know the drill. Read the article, share it on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. All right, trigger warning, folks. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, folks, please go ahead and utilize those headphones. Number two, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger, they're watching this. Very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised, all right? All right, so where we left off here. A comment asserts that the phone interviews conducted by the FDA with individuals formerly at the JRC are anecdotal and unscientific. Yet the comment also claims the FDA dismissed clinical data from JRC and did not interview the patients and parents who support the use of ESDs, SIB, or AB. First of all, why the fuck should they? All the people that stand with the JRC are featured in their propaganda bullshit channel on YouTube. You can pull it up for the whole world to see. So please explain to me, like I'm five, why they have to go and call those individuals independent from one another when we already have access to that content. All right. We already know those parents have drank the Kool-Aid. These are individuals that believe any means necessary in order to force us to be so-called normal is absolutely acceptable. I believe that is absolute garbage, and that is why malpractice laws are actually a thing. You know what I'm saying? Jesus. And also the whole idea, but the witnesses that were doing the phone calls are anecdotal. Here's the thing about anecdotal evidence. Do you want to know what gives it weight? It's two things, folks. It's the numbers of individuals coming forward, and they've all roughly got the same story. A few differences might be appearing in regards to how they were treated as an individual, but overall, they sound damn near identical to one another. Even that might make me skeptical because let's face it, I'm me and I'm a nihilist, and I've lost what little shreds of hope I didn't even know I had in humanity. Yeah, those are left. Bye bye. Bye bye, gone, and see you later, all right? When you have that many so-called anecdotal stories, those in and of themselves were given zero weight in regards to their decision. However, the weight of the evidence, including those stories, things tend to carry more weight when you have the actual medical documents to back it up. Okay? So the FDA taking phone calls, listening to survivors, just calling that anecdotal and unscientific doesn't work because it's this wonderful thing we all like to call context. Okay? What that means is it brings a broader awareness of just the array of barbaric, horrific shit that the JRC puts those kids through. Now, when you have those anecdotal stories and they can be backed up by documents, documents that come from completely different states, I might add, then that's going to add more weight to the anecdotal stories with what medical evidence they do have of what's happened to the kids in that place matches what they're saying when they're telling their survival stories. That no longer holds weight to just simply call it anecdotal, unscientific, and dismiss it. Do I believe that everyone, when accused, should have their whole life shit on? No. But when you're dealing with a situation like the JRC, this is not the listen and believe bullshit that we have shoved down our throats on a semi regular basis. This is something way different. And what makes it different is the fact that those anecdotal stories that they're complaining about here were 100% backed up with the medical evidence and data provided by the other students whose stories were damn near the same. Okay? It's not, it's, again, folks, on one hand, they want you to never listen to us because we are disabled and we don't know what's good for us. On the other hand, we're the goddamn boogeyman. Okay? As advocates, we're the boogeyman, all right? Seriously, this idea that somehow that we have any form of control over any form of politics is this is not a reality-based assessment. Okay? Has the neurodiverse movement made monumental strides? Yes. But look at all that seems to be left undone. And look at these GOP hellscapes that are backpedaling fast as hell to undo all the work that multiple advocates have been a part of and worked on for decades on end. All right? We don't have the kind of power that the places like JRC is trying to make you believe that we do, while also trying to convince you that people that share our diagnoses don't know what's good for them. In fact, we don't understand so much that the only way to treat us is with corporal punishment and violence. You can't make this shit up, folks. Uh, you can't make it up. So, to simplify it, it comes down to this: an anecdotal story by itself, with nothing to back it up but the person words, is irrelevant. Yeah, you heard me. I'll say it again for the idiots in the back. If you have nothing but an anecdotal story and you have no receipts to back it up, that means absolutely bupkis in the eyes of the law. It may seem harsh for some, but you got to understand with the current state of the world why our rationale works the way that it does. Okay? What we don't have is this idea of this all controlling, all powerful, all charismatic neurodiversity movement that's just kicking people around and forcing people to do our will. Because the fact of the matter is, if that were true, not just the JRC, but every goddamn school that exists on this earth that is like it will have gone the way of the dodo. There would be none of this crap, the pseudoscience that is slung at us on a daily basis by media shills and moms that have entirely too much time on their hands. All right. Now, let's get to the third point and we'll close out. When they're saying, but you didn't even look at the data that came from the JRC. Let me explain this to you real quick. No shit, Sherlock, you think? Because their data is not relevant. It has not been replicated by any research institute, medical facility, graduate study group, you name it. It has not been corroborated. It is literally, but you have to take the data and give it the same weight as you're giving the other things, or what? What? No, do tell me. Go on. What? All right. The reason why the FDA did not give the same weight to the data that the JRC provided is because of the very simple fact that it's JRC's whose ass is in the whose ass is just above the flames, okay? It would be absolutely ridiculous to give the same weight to those absolutely bogus studies as to the ones that are actually more modern, first of all, done by people with far many more letters behind their name than Dr. Matthew Israel has ever had in his entire existence. You see what I mean? This idea of, but you didn't take the JRC data seriously. I'm not going to take anyone's bullshit data seriously unless it has to do with unequivocal white hot rage. Nobody is wanting to make those studies to corroborate the batshit insanity that is the JRC because the rest of the medical model, as fucked up as they are, refuse to touch it with a 50-foot pole because it is unethical. We're going to close on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to utilize those comments. I do appreciate your time tonight. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you probably tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.